My dear students of first year, a very good morning to all. I hope that you all are safe and sound by the grace of Almighty God. I am also safe and sound. This is the second class for you. In this class, I will analyze the rest of the poem that I started in the last class. Okay, let's move on with PowerPoint presentation. Okay, welcome you all to my online class. Now, this class is designed for the Department of English for the students of first year. Course name is Introduction to Poetry. Topic is A Prayer for My Daughter. And this is my picture, and this is Md.Masud Miah, lecturer in English, Nabiganj Govt College, Nabiganj. Okay, today's poem is A Prayer for My Daughter, written by W.B. Yeats. Today we will continue from the stanza 4. Stanza 4 starts with Helen being chosen, found life flat and dull. Later had much trouble from a fool. While that great queen that rose out of the spread, being fatherless, would have her way, yet chose a bandy-legged smith for man. Bandy-legged means having legs bent wide apart at the knee. A smith means a worker in metal. In these lines, Yeats alludes mean takes or states from Greek mythology. He brings here Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world. Being free from parental control, she could marry as she could, choose as she wants. But with all her power and advantages, chose a bandy-legged smith for men. Bandy-legged smith refers to the Greek mythological character Hephaestus, someone inferior to her. Then she marries Menelaus, a much older man than her. Again, Helen elopes with the Prince of Troy, Paris, for seduction. But she is doomed, although she is the daughter of god Zeus. Helen was the most beautiful woman in the world. Her beauty makes her fool. Helen had no father to guide her. Yeats intends to guide his daughter in the choice of a suitable life partner. Next lines, it's certain that fine women eat a crazy salad with their meat, whereby the horn of plenty is undone. Crazy means frantic, and horn of plenty, it's also from Roman mythology. In Roman mythology, the horn of a god that fed baby Jupiter. It is regarded as a symbol of plenty. These lines are explained in this way that the horn of plenty was a horn given by Zeus. The possessor of this horn would be granted his wishes, whereby the horn of plenty is undone. This is because Maud misused her gifts of intellect, grace, and beauty. She also misused the benefits she could have from John McBride, her husband. She could obtain what she desired with these gifts, similar to the horn of plenty. John McBride is symbolized as an unsubstantial salad. Maud wasted her supposed power. She could have done better for herself. Instead, she made the wrong choice of desire. For her right choice is undone, the horn of plenty is undone. Next, stanza 5. In these stanzas, we see the text is, in courtesy, I would have her cheaply learned. Hearts are not had as gift, but hearts are earned by those that are not entirely beautiful. These lines are literally very understandable. I think you do not get any difficulties to understand the lines. This line explained, Yeats wants and to be courteous. Courteous means to be modest, or one who behaves with others with good manners. Love does not come freely and unconditionally. Love is not inspired by mere physical beauty. It is earned by good efforts by those who are not even beautiful but are kind and helpful. Next, yet many that have played the fool for beauty's very self has charm made wise, and many a poor man that has roved, laughed, and thought himself beloved from a glad kindness cannot take his eyes. Roved means to wander, to walk aimlessly. Many people foolishly love beautiful women depending only on the outer beauty. Outer beauty means physical beauty. They think these women as their beloved or they are loved by these beautiful women. Yet tells these men fool, poor and stupid, because these men are charm made wise. In a single word, stupid, as glory of kindness cannot attract their eyes. According to Yeats, charm of a good woman has charmed a man eventually. He becomes wise by realizing the goodness of loving a kind woman. An ugly woman cannot take his eyes because she is not physically beautiful, but her kindness makes him glad. This could be a reference to Yeats' wife, Georgie Hyde-Lees, who was not beautiful physically, but they had a happy marriage. Georgie loved him much. The poet praises good and beautiful women like Georgie, who should be more loved by men compared to harsh, beautiful one like Mordred. Stanza 6 starts with, may she become a flourishing hidden tree, that all her thoughts may like the linnet be, and have no business but dispensing round their magnanimities of sound. Linnet. Linnet is a kind of bird whose song is very sweet. Here in this stanza, the poet uses many literary terms like symbolism, metaphor, simile, etc. Yeats hopes that his daughter will grow and flourish with virtue and modesty. She must be hidden, not too open and opinionated like Morgan. Opinionated means self-willed, arrogant. A tree is fresh, soothing, and natural. Yeats wishes that Anne will have pleasant thoughts. He wants her to talk of good, pleasant things. The linnet is a bird which flies, representing a merry, sweet girl, not too serious, bombastic, and violent like Morgan. He uses linnet bird as a nice metaphor that make merrymaking sound around the natural trees without any seriousness. It is also a simile to bright thought as it is bright colored bird. Nor but in merriment begin a chase, nor but in merriment a quarrel. In this line, Yeats wants to say that and to chase and quarrel only in merriment. He wants her to be happy and not too ambitious or opinionated. He does not want her to chase ambition ruthlessly. Here, the quarrel indicates simple arguing for fun. Next lines. Oh, may she live like some green laurel, rooted in one dear perpetual place. Laurel. Laurel is a kind of tree. Its leaves were used to make wreaths of honor. Yeats wants Anne to have a solid stability in her mind. Rooted in one dear perpetual place means that she should be confined in a single marital life at a single home. The home is happy, so it is dear. This may also indicate loyalty to one man. Morgan had a relationship with Lucy Miliobi with two premarital children, but married John McBride. Yeats wants Anne to be loyal to one man, like Morgan. Here, Yeats uses mythology. The green laurel is a metaphor which refers to the nymph Daphne, who was pursued by Apollo. Eager to protect her virtue, Daphne turned into a laurel tree. Similarly, Yeats wants Anne to be virtuous, unlike Morgan. The word green in turn may symbolize peace, innocence, and youth. Now, stanza 7. My mind, because the wines that I have loved, the sort of beauty that I have approved, prosper but little, has dried up of late. In these lines, Yeats states that whom he loved was beautiful but not prosperous with virtues. For loving such a heart or the mind of Morgan, his mind cannot be benefited but has dried up of late, or weakened, tired, and not stimulated. He has mentioned her deficiencies. Yet knows that to be choked with hate may well be of all evil chances cheap. If there is no hatred in a mind, assault and battery of the wind can never tear the linnet from the leaf. In these lines, we see that the poets want to say that, however, he states that hatred is the worst thing and paves the way to do everything which is chiefly evil. The battery of mind symbolizes the destructive forces around and it cannot tear N. Here, linnet symbolizes N and leaf is symbolizing perpetual married life. Actually, linnet and leaf portray means present or shows something fragile. Fragile means breakable. Sufferings and destructive forces cannot destroy the fragile who do not hate, as their minds are clear, calm and free, because negative thoughts make us suffer. Now we have come to the stanza 8. In this stanza, we see that an intellectual hatred is the worst, so let her think opinions are accursed. The hatred of an opinionated intellectual like Morgan. Opinionated, I earlier told you that opinionated means self-willed or arrogant. Intellectual like Morgan is the worst because it is strong, destructive and opinionated. The intellectual resists opposition and fights for his cause. There are good reasons for this cause and hatred. Trivial hatred is weak because there is little reason. An intellectual fights for a cause with passion and determination because she is determined and clever. Yeats does not want Anne to be over-opinionated, so he wishes let her think opinions are accursed. Have I not seen the loveliest woman born out of the mouth of plenteous urn? Because of her opinionated mind, bartered that urn and every good, by quiet natures understood, for an old bellows full of angry wind. Bellows means a smith's instrument for blowing on a hot metal. In these lines here, Yeats states that Morgan had plentiful gifts, which she exchanges or lost for her strong opinion. The horn here is the horn of plenty, quoted before in the last line of stanza 4, symbolizes the gifts given by the god. The billows full of angry wind defeats her strong opinions, and every good by quiet natures understood are her advantages which are understood and appreciated by people with quiet natures. This makes sense especially with McBride's abuse of his wife. The angry wind is despicable. Angry wind refers to McBride. Maud did not use her gifts properly, though she had courtesy, grace, ceremony, and aristocracy. Now, we will start from stanza 9. Stanza 9 starts with, considering that all hatred-driven friends, the soul recovers radical emotions and learns at last that it is self-delighting, self-appeasing, self-affrighting. Self-delighting means giving delight to itself. Self-appeasing means giving consolation to itself. And self-affrighting means giving fright to itself from something very sinful. When all hatred has been driven away from the spirit and the soul becomes pure and acquires an almost divine innocence. and she becomes aware of the power of the spirit over life. Her pure spirit will control and determine the quality of her life, and that its own sweet will is heaven's will. She can, though every face should scold, and every windy quarter howl, or every billow sparks be happy still. Scold means frown, frown. Here, Yeats personified heaven, which symbolizes God. He is expecting her daughter will submit her wills and fate completely in the hands of God. When this happens, his daughter will be happy in spite of all life's problems and tribulations. Tribulations also refers to problems or difficulties or challenges. Now we have come to the last stage of the poem. And may her bridegroom bring her to a house where all accustomed ceremonies for arrogance and hatred are the wares feddled in the thoroughfares. Arrogance means pride. Thoroughfare means road or way. Ceremony means formal conduct. Yeats is preoccupied with Irish folklore and tradition. His writings usually treat Irish legends. His almost all writings also reflects his fascination with mysticism and spiritualism. Finally, Yeats hopes that his daughter's husband comes from a background where traditional beliefs and ideas are very much a part of life, and that culture and tradition are infused into his daughter. Infused means mixed into. He believes that adhering to one's roots and values gives one a sense of identity, and those without his background and culture are the men of arrogance and hatred. But with the cultural practice, all hatred and arrogance can be fiddled away. How, but in custom and in ceremony, are innocence and beauty born. Ceremony, earlier I told you, means formal conduct or behavior. In this last part of the poem, the speaker throws a rhetoric question which answer is known to all. He asks the readers, without tradition and ritual, is it possible to grow beauty and innocence? You all must answer it negative, like somebody may ask you, can you take a bath without water? And you must reply no. So, he wishes his daughter to live with customs and ceremony, and thus beauty and innocence. The last lines of the poem is, ceremonies a name for the rich urn, custom for the spreading laurel tree. Then, to emphasize more in this too, he recalls the mythology he used before in this poem, rich urn, line 32, and laurel tree in line 47. He makes simile to rich urn with ceremony and a holy pure laurel with custom, what can spread peace and security to her in all lifelong, like the laurel tree is green all lifelong. That is the end of today's class. If you have any problems regarding the class, you can inform me by commenting or messaging me. In the next class, I will come with a new topic to discuss. Thanks to all. Take care and stay connected. Goodbye.